Welcome back to Vindictus for Idiots, for a place where you almost get proper information about Vindictus. It works out. You learn what you need to know, maybe. That's up for debate. Now we move on to the next area, Hoarfrost Hollow, a network of ice caves goes inside of a mountain. Snowy mountain, I assume. You never see the outside of the mountain because you just start immediately in the ice caves, but it's full of kobolds. Now, while you're thinking, there's the traditional... I say traditional, because it's probably an older version of kobolds, where they're wolf dog people. Not in Vindictus, they're pretty much just goblins. But they're not goblins. These goblins come later. They're later enemies. These are just kobolds. Yeah. Deal with it. So at this point in the story, you're pretty involved in the human-monster war that's going on. Because you've been doing a lot of murdering of the monster races. So you're pretty much in it. And you're sent to Hoarfrost Hollow to investigate things. And not much crazy story stuff happens. Like, you fight kobolds, and then you fight more kobolds, and then you fight more kobolds, and then you fight their leader, and then you fight a bear. But this would be a really short episode if I didn't go more in depth. So, more in depth I shall go. So, a lot of these quests, you're sent in to investigate one tiny little thing. Gwyn sends you in to fight a bunch of kobolds. Riley sends you in to steal slingshots from kobolds because he's a kooky old guy and he wants slingshots to annoy people with. And then you gotta collect nightshade from some people. But at the end, the big thing is you fight the kobold chief and you beat him. And then they're like, oh, they're preparing for a counterattack. Or we are. I don't know, the battle's called Prepare for Counterattack. I'm rusty, don't remember, don't care really which side is the one doing the counterattacking. But anyways, you go there to stop it. But then when you get there, you just fight all the bosses you've already fought, and you're like, I totally killed these people. Like, oh, but they're still alive, because reasons for the story. And then after all of that, Kirsty sends you off on a little side tangent quest kind of thing to go after a giant polar bear, because that's the thing her mentor and master and person who taught her hunting did, was fight the biggest and baddest polar bear in the world, and killed it, I assume. Or was killed by it. Not important. But you go there and you fight a different polar bear, because the big one's not around anymore. You fight it, and you kill it. And then you come back to Kirsty, and depending on which kind of stuff you talked about in the quest, and I think depending on what character you play as, I'm a bit rough on the title for it, because you get a different title. You either become the apprentice, or the successor. It doesn't matter stat-wise, because the titles don't give stats, and it's just which title you like the look of more if you ever decide on using it, but you get the same rewards. But then later, there's another quest in Hoarfrost Hollow where you go back and fight the bear again, and it's angrier and bloodier. So, like, it implies it survived your first encounter, like how the old chieftain survived your first encounters. Things just survive encounters with you a lot, despite you being really good at killing them. And now for a fun little game. I'm gonna put the names of the kobolds on the screen, and you can try and pronounce them without any reference, and try and pronounce them without coughing something up. Because I don't know where the hell they came up with the names for these kobolds. Maybe it's some actual thing somewhere, but they all sound kind of dumb. So that was a brief discussion about Hoarfrost Hollow, the Season 1, Episode 2 content. Tune in next time, where when we talk about an area full of screaming skeletons that throw fireballs.